My mother's funeral was where a stranger handed me a letter telling me my entire life was a lie. I was adopted, and my real parents possessed wealth I'd never dared imagine. Rain pattered against the church windows as I stood alone beside my mother's casket. The few attendees, parent mostly her colleagues from the diner where she'd waitressed for 20 years. Parent had already left. Mom never had many friends, and it was always just the two of us against the world. Excuse me, are you Eleanor? I turned to find a thin woman with anxious eyes, perhaps in her 60s, clutching her purse like it might escape. Yes, I replied, wondering who would seek me out today of all days. I worked in the Harrison household many years ago, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I knew your mother, Pierre, your real mother. My stomach dropped. What are you talking about? My mother is right here. I gestured to the casket. She pressed an envelope into my hands. Margaret wasn't your birth mother. I've kept silent too long, but with her gone, you deserve to know the truth. I wanted to laugh, to tell her she was crazy, but something in her eyes stopped me. Before I could respond, she hurried toward the exit, pausing only to say, be careful if you decide to contact them. The Harrisons aren't what they seem. That night, alone in the tiny apartment Mom and I had shared, I opened the envelope with trembling hands. Inside were newspaper clippings about the Harrison family, parent, owners of Harrison Edgersies, one of the largest tech companies in the country, a birth certificate with my name and the names Catherine and Richard Harrison listed as parents, and most disturbing, a photo of a young woman who looked eerily like me standing beside a man I recognized from business magazines. My phone pinged with a news notification. Harrison Edgersey as CEO Richard Harrison and daughter Olivia attend charity gala. The accompanying photo showed a man in his 60s beside a young woman my age who could almost be my twin. I sank to the floor, my world spinning. For 23 years, I believed I was Eleanor Jenkins, daughter of single mom Margaret Jenkins, who worked double shifts to put me through college. Now I learned I might be Eleanor Harrison, daughter of billionaires who for some reason hadn't wanted me. After 3 sleepless nights and endless internet searches about the Harrisons, I made my decision. With nothing left for me here, painter, no family, a worthless literature degree, and mounting debt from Mom's medical bills, and I would go to New York, not to confront them immediately, but to understand why they'd given me away while keeping a daughter who looked just like me. I applied for an entry-level position at Harrison Edgersies, using my credentials and the address of a cheap hostel. To my shock, I received an interview request within hours. Perhaps my qualifications were better than I thought, parent, or perhaps something else was at play. 2 weeks later, I sat in the gleaming lobby of Harrison Tower, clutching my resume and rehearsing my story. I wasn't Eleanor Harrison here. I was just Eleanor Jenkins, recent graduate seeking an administrative position, with no connection to the family whose name adorned the building. Miss Jenkins. A sleek assistant appeared. Mr. Harrison will see you now. My heart nearly stopped. Mr. Harrison himself. I thought I was interviewing with high art as she smiled thinly. Mr. Harrison occasionally takes interest in new hires. Please follow me. As the elevator climbed toward the executive floor, my determination wavered. What if he recognized me? What if this was a trap? But when the doors opened and I was led into a vast office with floor-to-ceiling windows, the man behind the desk looked up without a flicker of recognition. Eleanor Jenkins, he said, studying my resume. Impressive academic record, despite your modest background. I swallowed hard, staring at the man who might be my father. Thank you, sir. Tell me, he continued, finally looking directly at me. Why Harrison Edgersies? For a moment I forgot my prepared answer as I searched his face for any sign, any reaction to my appearance. There was nothing, Pern, just the calculating gaze of a businessman evaluating an applicant. Because I finally said, I believe everyone has a story that deserves to be told, and I want to be part of a company that helps people connect. Something shifted in his expression. Pert, not recognition, but interest. Interesting perspective. We have an opening that might suit you perfectly. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. May I ask what position? His smile didn't reach his eyes. My daughter Olivia needs a new personal assistant. Someone reliable, discreet, and preferably without social connections in New York. You seem perfect.